I am here on radar with the rain and showers. They have returned in the region. Could see some flooding downpours this evening, but in the forecast, there is a little bit of a break for tomorrow midday before more showers and storms erupt. So keep that in mind. We have a little more rain ahead of us, maybe for the next couple of evenings especially. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, they offer some respite from the rain and even the fog chances tonight and tomorrow night as well. Hello, David. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm glad I was able to connect. Notice we have a break Tuesday, Wednesday, but then slight rain chances start re-entering the picture Thursday and Friday. There's a chance even Thursday has some fairly decent chances of staying rain-free as well, but we'll have to watch it as we get closer. Thanks for joining me. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. Anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. All right, so once again, let's look at radar really quick. Showers and storms erupting in the region once again. Flooding downpours, which we'll discuss in a minute, have a 5 to 10% chance of happening this evening. So far, flood watches, flood warnings are not in effect in the nearby region of the Beltway, but we need to just keep an eye on things and prepare for usage of umbrellas and windshield wipers tonight if you're going out. So keep that in mind. It is going to be a wet evening. All right, I want to point out that here it is. The excessive rainfall potential, flooding downpour potential in the green shading is 5 to 10% chance. Even a slight chance of a gusty thunderstorm with some damaging wind gusts, but that is still a very slight chance this evening. Just wanted to point it out though. Lightning, gusty winds, and heavy downpours, flooding downpours are possible with these storms tonight, so keep that in mind. By tomorrow, yep, still some rain chances with a potential midday break, shaded here in the green. That's kind of everyday thunderstorm showers in the region tomorrow. So far, no flooding downpours currently expected or severe weather, but this cold front is approaching by tomorrow evening. Here's what the fronts look like by tomorrow evening around 8 p.m. And we can't get that cold front through here soon enough. It does start stalling as it pushes south and east on Tuesday. Here's this map, but notice Tuesday has little to no rain chances in the region. So that is the good news. We'll try and get a rain break on Tuesday and Wednesday of this upcoming week. All right, thanks for joining me. It's before 8 p.m. Thanks for your patience while I was able to connect the second attempt, even though sunset was at 7:54 p.m. I'm on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook now successfully this evening, and we're below 13 and a half hours of daylight. Lisa, Saturday could be a little bit unsettled. I'll go into that in a moment. Looks like 80s for temperatures, so let's check on that in a second. Good evening, Charlene. Good evening, Aaron. Doris, tired of the rain. Potomac River is still low. You don't get it. Well, we have high evapotranspiration this time of year. We need a lot of rain to keep recharging our hydrological systems, our gardens, our farms, our rivers, our streams. Yep, still takes a lot this time of year. The sun will slowly get lower and days get shorter, as we see here, into September. Dew points this week, Kristen, looks like it's going to be high for the initial part of the week. Let's go back to forecast at a glance so I can show you. I'm going to slap up there our index, our emoji scale for the Washington Post. Sticky, unpleasant for the most part of this week, but low 70s, kind of muggy, gross for the beginning part of this week. I think by Monday night into early Tuesday, we'll start getting those dew points back down into the 60s. Downpour in Ashburn. Thank you, Aaron, for that report. Indeed, radar is pretty darn active this evening. We are watching that for the 5 to 10% chance we see a flooding downpour, and later tonight, even some dense fog patches are possible. Earlier rain shower happened in Silver Spring. Thanks for that, David. And we've got Aaron not wanting to wait for that cold front. That's fantastic. And Elizabeth, we've got evening forecast this week for soccer practice. Hopefully Tuesday and Wednesday are on for soccer practice. That is kind of the rain-free period. We get a break. Hello, Delia. Thanks for tuning in. And Tupper, no stars out with the clouds. That is true. We've got plenty of rain and clouds here moving through the region. And better than drought, David. Yes, indeed. We'll talk about the drought being drought-free conditions in the Mid-Atlantic. And still loving the rain after moving here a year. Excellent, Aaron. I love that. And Alex, a downpour happened yesterday for you. Very good to hear. And here's forecast at a glance. Let's put that up here. So we have rain and storms tonight, midday break potentially tomorrow, more showers and storms again late afternoon to evening tomorrow as well. And then a rain-free break for Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you want to get outside those 2 days, looking pretty okay. And then maybe on Thursday and Friday, we have slight rain chances working their way back into the region. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. And we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com anytime you need us. 5 to 10% chance of flooding downpours tonight in the green here of excessive rainfall. very slight chance of some damaging wind gusts with some storms tonight, but so far no severe weather watches have been issued. It's this cold front moving into the region. Pictured here tomorrow evening, it's slowly pushing in from the Ohio River Valley. We've got more rain shaded in the green here on top for tomorrow, and then Tuesday, the front does barely push off just to the south and east enough for us to get a rain break there. You notice the shading of green is giving us a break in the mid-Atlantic. All right, we've got plenty of rainfall over the next 48 hours, just kind of around town, an inch and a half. Even the red spot there is about 2 inches in Loudoun County, thereabouts. And more of the same potentially next work week as well, with above average precipitation has a decent probability of occurring. And then Saturday, I think Aaron was asking about Saturday temperatures in the 80s. Can't rule out some unsettled conditions, but it is not looking too shabby just yet. It is worth waiting to see how things look as we get closer. And for temperatures, let's go into the temperature department, looking at next work week, 8 to 14 days out. We've got a decent probability of above average temperatures. An average for this time of year, by the time we're looking at next work week, kind of in the mid 80s, just for reference. Could we add maybe our 30th day of 90 degrees or hotter in DC? Well, it is looking possible, but so far no major streak of 90s, 90 or higher on tap in the forecast. But look at that, we are below our average year to date, so that's good. If you're like me and not really a hot weather lover, that's good and fine. And the Atlantic is somewhat active. It is kind of giving us a heartbeat with some of this tropical activity. The potential tropical cyclone that was kind of brewing in the Gulf of Mexico has dissipated. Now we're looking at the low probability out into the middle of Atlantic that there is this disturbance that develops perhaps in the next 5 days. And then again, there's another bump up in activity potentially after starting August 24th onward. So we'll need to keep that in mind. We want to just keep an eye on things in the Atlantic. We're still at the D storm, Danielle, for the tropical activity. And then drought. We want to talk about that, David, I believe. We're looking pretty darn good here in the mid-Atlantic. So that is the good news. Still need some rain there in New England and portions of Texas and the Intermountain West and California as well. Over the last week, you can see the hit or miss nature of our storms. It has been, I wanted to blow this up for you as much as possible, just so you could see it's very dependent on where this time of year. A thunderstorm is our primary source of rain, so it's been very hit or miss. You can see one county over may have been red in the 2-inch area, and you were in the light green, which is barely a tenth of an inch. So you're not imagining things if you were having to water your garden and those neighbors of yours several blocks away, maybe a couple miles away, they are not having to water. It's been very hit or miss. And let's zoom in on the DC area. Percentage of normal over the last 7 days. Reds are well below normal percent-wise over the last 7 days. So you're definitely probably sensing you needed to water your gardens over the last 7 days, and the reds and even the oranges. Now, if you are in the blues and greens, you have seen over 100% of normal rainfall over the last week. So you're in better shape. So I wonder if this corresponds to how your gardens or farms are doing if you are lucky enough to not have to water perhaps in the greens and the blues. All right, and then a quick check of pollen. Low throughout the region, and I can put up, maybe you're feeling a little bit more of the mold and mildew and maybe some grasses in the blues and greens if you've seen above average rainfall over the last percent-wise over the last 7 days, so keep that in mind. It is varying throughout the region. It is a patchwork quilt, if you will. And more rain is on tap tonight, and the latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. Anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. I'm Camden Walker. Thanks so much for tuning in to these weekly Sunday Sunset Chats, and I got it connected that second time tonight. I'm very happy. Lisa made chili this weekend. Excellent. You're ready for fall. Love that. Welcome rains earlier today in Culpeper. Thanks for that, Steve. Good reports. Hope the humidity goes away then too, Holly. I will show you the forecast at a glance and try to paste up here our emoji scale for dew points there in the corner. I do think low 70s, kind of pretty uncomfortable, muggy, gross is possible for the dew point scale through Monday nights. Perhaps Tuesday into Friday, we can get the dew points back down to the 60s, back into moist, simply a little bit unpleasant, a little bit sticky, feeling like August for this time of year, I have to admit. It's going to just feel like standard August. So that's the good news. If you're looking for a little bit less muggy, a little bit less gross, hang in there till maybe Tuesday, and it should feel just a little bit better. And let me get that out of the way so you can see temperatures as we go throughout the week. Pretty warm, kind of right around average or so for this time of year. Dry, potentially rain-free on Tuesday and Wednesday, but we have to get through some downpours tonight. Showers and storms even possible tomorrow morning. A midday break also then possible with some more sunshine tomorrow. That then percolates the atmosphere, destabilizes a little bit for more showers and storms tomorrow afternoon and evening. And then a 2-day break potentially in rain chances, not before then, Thursday, Friday. We've got those rain chances coming back in the picture, and maybe just a hint more humidity as well. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest, the PM update by Greg Porter. Let's see, we've got, can't think about fall until Labor Day, David. Sherry, thanks so much for very kind. And lack of hurricanes so far in the Atlantic, Elizabeth. I think we've already had 3 storms. It's typical that we don't see more activity until closer to the September 10th climatological peak of hurricane activity in the Atlantic. I've seen some wind shear numbers. Winds are a little bit not conducive off the coast of Africa for some Cabo Verde, Cape Verde storms. But so far, if we're this quiet as we get into middle of September, then I am definitely willing to discuss that we could have a below average season, but plenty of time, plenty of activity ahead of us. We're not even to the halfway mark, so keep that in mind. David, we have about another 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks before the peak of hurricane season, around September 10th. And great weather here in VB, Arlene. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey, South Central Pennsylvania, Charlene. Thanks for those bountiful harvests this time of year. That's excellent. And thunder currently rolling into Laurel right now. So here's radar. Indeed, it is getting active on radar throughout the DC region and mid-Atlantic. Could have some flooding downpours tonight, some dense fog tonight. So please be careful if you are out late tonight. It's not exactly the most quiet evening, so do prepare for rain, prepare for fog, and we will keep you posted on Twitter at Capital Weather if we see anything worth noting for you. And we've got hit or miss nature of the rain, Kristen. Yep, that is what we can't kick this time of year. And do you think the school bus stop for tomorrow morning, Dawn, will be dry? I'll say 50-50 chance at this point. And Rebecca, indeed, gardening, we've got to watch this time of year. We still want, a couple more months of good harvest before the growing season is over. So here's a forecast at a glance before I go on to other things. We've got some rain chances again tomorrow, maybe a midday break though. Tuesday, Wednesday should be rain-free. Thursday, Friday, it looks like rain chances come back into the picture a little bit, and we're going to keep an eye on this weekend. Has a slight chance of being unsettled, but temperatures generally in the 80s are not too bad as we get into the weekend. So excessive rainfall tonight, 5 to 10% chance possible here in the green. So do remember, turn around, don't drown if you encounter floodwaters, a water-covered pathway forward on whatever mode of transportation you are taking. Just keep in mind, turn around, don't drown, because we do have a slight chance for flooding downpours tonight for excessive rainfall. And then even a slight chance tonight for some damaging wind gusts, but I haven't seen much potential for that just yet. No severe weather warnings or flood warnings are out right now, so we are all right. We're watching this front tomorrow depicted here. Green shading is the rain chances for tomorrow. It is going to slowly approach our region, setting off some rain. By tomorrow, again, recharging with the atmosphere, maybe getting some sun in the middle of the day. Then we get this destabilizing force moving in, this cold front. So we should see an increase in showers and storms in the afternoon and evening again tomorrow, maybe even some fog tomorrow night. And then it stalls a little bit, just far enough south and east as it becomes a stationary front, decreasing our rain chances on Tuesday. So that is the good news. We should see some more sunshine Tuesday and Wednesday and get a break from the humidity a little bit as well. Thanks for joining me as we're before 8 p.m. for the first time this warm season. Now at 7:54 p.m. and I'm in YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you're following us on all 3 of our social media channels. Really appreciate you following us at capitalweathergang.com anytime. We are there 24/7 for you to meet your needs. And we'll be talking several minutes earlier next week as well. So I will be getting earlier and earlier for you. And I'm sorry to report below 13 and a half hours of daylight as we get toward the equinox in September. All right, rain amounts that we have seen, or that we can expect, over the next 48 hours through Tuesday morning. Somewhat heavy in north central Virginia. Maybe Loudoun County sees about 2 inches. Some of the activity is erupting tonight, granted. So these rainfall totals are just over the next 48 hours. But it gives you a sense this is probably the biggest scoop of rainfall gathered for this upcoming next 7 days this week. So if you were looking for a break from the rain, just hang in there till Tuesday, Wednesday. We do see a decent chance for a rain break. So Gardens, though, pretty happy with this, I would say. Farmers as well. Catherine, you're most welcome. This is an actual front coming through tomorrow, David. And Peter, hello. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, and Spotsy Marianne. Raining again, yes, indeed. And we've got Drew. Missed you as well. I hope you have had a good summer vacation. And I think so far we're working this trough of low pressure from the jet stream standpoint out of here. And Bermuda high might take over by the end of this week. So keep that in mind. And rainfall potential as for precipitation chances, will it be above or below average in the coming work week, 8 to 15 days out from now. There's a decent probability of being above average, so keep that in mind. It could be a little bit wet going into next work week as well. And Saturday, for temperatures, let's go to the temperature side of things. I want to look ahead for the weekend. 80s look like they're on tap for the temperature regime, and then temperatures could still be above average for next work week as well. Decent chance of being at least, let's say, the mid 80s, perhaps upper 80s to around 90 is on tap, possibly as well. We could add to our heat counter for this time of year. We've stalled out in the last week at 29. Average year to date is 33.5, so we are tracking below average. And Marion says more mushroom weather. Indeed, that is possible. Yes, indeed. Tropics, I know you all are interested as we get toward the climatological peak, September 10th. This time of year is when hurricane activity typically peaks, and this yellow indicates here over the next 5 days there is a slight chance this disturbance over the Cape Verde, Cabo Verde Islands develops in the Atlantic over the next 5 days, but again, low probability. And this region generally stays focused on our attention over the next week or so. This is kind of a region that might see an uptick in activity before August is over, so we'll keep that in mind as well. The next storm would be Danielle, the D storm. So we'll see if we have Danielle by the end of this week. We'll keep you posted at capitalweathergang.com. Now, drought conditions doing fine in the mid-Atlantic. New England, not so much. In Texas and California and the Intermountain West could definitely stand to see more rain. But here's why we're doing okay. Look at this over the last 7 days. This is kind of estimated. I blew it up as much as possible, and I'm covering my face a little bit. But you can see the very hit or miss nature with thunderstorms being our primary source of rainfall. You could be one county away and have a completely different idea of how your garden is doing, how your farm is doing. So I wanted to show you this kind of beautiful quilt. This is radar estimated and weather station estimated, satellite estimated as well. So lots of data sources going into this over the last 7 days, though. This should generally match what you think you've received locally at your location. And you can see kind of southwest of DC has been more of a bonus spot for rain. Northeast of DC, that's where kind of the rain hole has been over New Jersey and parts of the Delmarva as well. Zooming in a little bit more, a percent of normal over the last 7 days. The reds and oranges are below normal. Blues and greens are above normal. So here's kind of a more DC focused, DC zoomed in picture of where you probably are seeing no need for watering in the green and blue, but probably did lots of watering in the oranges and the reds over the last 7 days. Pollen really quick, probably corresponds. Some of you probably have a little uptick in the grass pollen, but overall in the region, it is low across the board, even mold and mildew. So far, a little bit low, but we could see an uptick in mushrooms, as Marianne was saying, with tonight's heavy rain as well. So let's get back to that in the short term while I'm on the air another 2 minutes or so. We've got our latest forecast at CWG.news/latest and a fairly active radar tonight, kind of along and east of I-95. We could see a couple flooding downpours. Remember, turn around, don't drown if encountering flood waters ahead of you. And anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com, and on Twitter tonight, follow us at Capital Weather. We'll let you know if any watches or warnings pop up, but so far none to speak of. So far, these are not affecting anything to a severe manner. And then I want to show you the forecast at a glance for temperatures. Pretty warm, pretty much near average this time of year. It will feel like August. Dew points there in the upper corner will be in the low 70s through maybe Monday night, kind of ebbing and diminishing a little bit into the 60s and becoming a little bit less unpleasant for Tuesday, Wednesday during our break in the rain. And then again, maybe dew points around 70 possible again Thursday and Friday when rain chances start eking back into the region as we get there. And again, 5 to 10% chance of excessive rainfall, flooding, downpours tonight. And then maybe just a tiny chance of some gusty winds, damaging wind gusts tonight as well with some of these thunderstorms. And just to give you an idea, this cold front tomorrow night is really trying to push through. Rain chances here in the green for tomorrow, and then Tuesday It does make it through here toward the Tidewater, Virginia, stalls out though. Luckily though, just far enough away to give much of the mid-Atlantic some increased sunshine and a break from the rain, which you may be wanting. We've had a decent amount of rain tonight, and again tomorrow night as well, we might get another batch of rain. So I will bid you farewell and have a great week. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook anytime at capitalweathergang.com. Here's a shorter and shorter day length, below 13.5 hours, but I appreciate you tuning into these weekly Sunday sunset chats. I'm Camden Walker for capitalweathergang.com. Charlene says only 11 days to meteorological fall. I know she's looking forward to that. Excellent. And Drew, really appreciates you tuning in as well. Good to see you. And David, appreciate you as well. And Kristen, you take care. And David and Aaron, take care as well. I will see you next Sunday. Bye for now.